Hello, everyone. Well, the annual swimsuit edition of Sports Illustrated is out next week.
Is that right?
You knew that. While the magazine will still be an extravaganza of barely their bikinis and fashion models,
there will also be, for the first time, a nude spread featuring models of different ages and body types, with words like truth, human, mother, and artist written on their bodies. In the words of the editor, it's an attempt to give voice to the models in a silent medium. Renee Davis joins us now. She's a reporter with Cachet Digital.
Hi.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay, let's talk about what MJ Day is going on here with this sort of new, improved post-Me Too edition of the swimsuit edition of Sports Illustrated. She says that she was actually moving in this direction anyway, regardless of Harvey Weinstein. I just want to read you what she said to Vanity Fair. And maybe you can explain it to me.
Okay. It's
about allowing women to exist in the world without being harassed or judged, regardless of how they like to present themselves. That's an underlying thread that exists throughout the swimsuit issue. You have Harvard graduates, you have billion-dollar moguls, you have philanthropists, you have teachers, you have mothers, you have a full range of women represented in the alumnus of the magazine, and not one of them failed because they wore a bikini.
Right.
Okay, so is this a genuine effort by Day, or is this kind of like cashing in with a very clever marketing technique?
So I'm of the school of thought that it can be both things. You know, it can be a very clever marketing technique, but it can also be, let's jump into the Me Too movement conversation and celebrate women's bodies. Because what happens oftentimes is that we'll see a woman's naked body and we look at it as being just a naked body. We don't appreciate the beauty that lies beneath. But with all these women who are smart, who are educated, who are writers, who are not only models, but just very well-rounded women, we get to really appreciate their nakedness, but also appreciate all the things that lie beneath. So it might be a little bit of a marketing thing, but I think it's also about celebrating women as a whole, not just as aesthetically pleasing to look at.
Because it used to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm a guy, so I always thought that sort of in the 70s and the 80s, the women's movement was anything you can do, I can do just as good, if not better, right?
Right.
But now it's sort of gone to, I can do whatever I want. You don't judge me, you don't tell me what to do, and if I want to wear a bikini on the front page of Sports Illustrated, that's my right.
And I think that's really important because feminism sometimes, women want to, and men too, want to take control of the word feminism. But I can't tell any other woman how to live in her own femininity. You can't tell me how to be a feminist. I think a feminist is someone who owns herself, owns her sensuality, and she's on her own journey. So the 70s, the 60s, oh, that was one thing, but now it's about, I'm an individual, and I can own my nakedness, I can own my being covered up. I am who I am, and that is me being a feminist, and no one can change it. I think MJ Day is really driving that point home in this magazine.
I just want to clarify, I don't want to wear a bikini on the front cover of Sports Illustrated.
You could, though. You could. I'm sure you look great.
Okay. If you look at past editions of the swimsuit edition, models like Kate Upton, Elle Macpherson, Heidi Klum, it would seem women, they're sexualized and treated as objects. Not so, says MJ Day. This is what she answered this question on GMA.
Who draws that line between sexy and sexualized?
I don't have a problem if someone looks at the swimsuit issue and says it's over-sexualized. I really don't, because that's normal. I think human nature doesn't lend itself to one way or another, but what it should lend itself to is acceptance.
It sounds to me like she's saying, it's basically, it's in the eye of the beholder. And if you sexualize this, that's your issue.
I think what MJ Day does in this feature is shows women as artistic beings by letting them write their truths on their body. I think depending on the medium that you're looking at, whether it's Instagram or Twitter or any kind of social media platform, if you're just seeing women just putting themselves out there without context, then sometimes that might seem over-sexualized. But this issue really gets to the core of, yes, I'm naked, yes, I'm nude, yes, I'm perfect, but I'm imperfect, and yes, I'm a mother, I'm a writer, I'm an author. So as far as people over-sexualizing the models, sex sells, glamour sells, beauty sells, but it is, I think, sometimes in the eye of the beholder.
Okay, well, the magazine, we talk about these but it's a plus-size model will be one of the featured in this edition. We'll also have a model who's 52 years old. And there's also Paige Spiranak, who reveals she's this pro golfer who's also a model. But she also talks about how she was bullied almost, or is bullied almost on a daily basis. Listen to this.
I've been bullied my entire life. I get slut-shamed, I get harassed, I get death threats for wearing the stuff that I do, and it's you know, a tank top that, you know, if I bend over might show some cleavage, or a skirt that's a little bit more form-fitting.
You know, she goes on to say she has no regrets what she's done, and you know, in the magazine she says, you know, you guys want to see sexy with a big question mark. She says you I've got every right to do this without facing bullying.
But okay, I'm sorry. I want to make sure I understand
so it's
the question.
about the magazine where she says you guys want sexy with a big question mark on it. So I mean, you know, some look at that and say, well, you know, where's this line between inviting being bullied and having it put on you, I guess.
Well, I guess as far as bullying is concerned, and bullying is never acceptable.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You know, like, I mean, to say that, oh, someone's dressing a certain way, so that's inviting people to bully you, that's, a person who's bullied, she's not responsible for people having bullied her. So that's the first issue. The second thing, I mean, there's always going to be somebody who thinks that a bikini is too sexy.
Right.
There's always going to be someone who thinks that a low-cut shirt is too sexy. I mean, there are various degrees on the spectrum about what's too sexy, what's not. MJ Day, once you read the article, once you read the context that she gives you, she basically says these women have the right to do this. And as far as the golfer who was bullied, again, if you're being bullied out there, it's never your fault that you're being bullied. And I appreciate her owning her sexy, and I appreciate MJ Day putting this feature out there. And I'm excited about seeing the nakedness and the truth on these women's bodies.
It'll be interesting. Erica, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me. Good to see you.